Good morning. This is Alexis Parker, sitting in with Giovanni Gallucci and Chloe, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, everybody. Chloe here, coffee in hand, ready to go.
Morning. Today, Instagram hands the feed dial to your audience, real sugar comes roaring back onto the label, and the brand's winning with microdramas instead of ad budgets. Take it away, Alexis.
So the big one this week is Instagram's Your Algorithm. They're rolling out a dashboard to every English-speaking user where you literally tune your own feed by hand. Turn topics up, turn topics down. And on top of that, Meta's testing a series feature that bundles Reels into episodic hubs. Gio, this feels like the whole growth playbook just got flipped over.
It did, and it's the best news small operators have gotten in years. For about 15 years, the game was tricking a black box. Post at the right time, feed the algorithm, guess what it wanted this quarter? Now the user holds the dial. And here's the thing nobody types into their interest panel. Show me more generic brand content. They turn up what they actually care about, and they bury the noise. So the winners stop being the loudest accounts and start being the clearest ones.
Why does clarity suddenly beat budget, though? Big brands can still outspend everybody.
Because budget only worked when the machine decided everything. You could brute force reach, post 11 times a day, boost the winners. When a person holds the remote, volume stops buying you anything. Nobody opts into a brand that's trying to be everything to everyone. They opt into the account that's exactly one thing to the right people. The national brand chasing the safe middle just got easier to turn down. And the regional brand with a sharp lane just got easier to turn up.
There's also that whole conversation about AI search deciding who gets recommended. Does that connect?
It's the same story wearing a different hat. Every credible voice this week is saying earned media and real community discussion, not paid placement, are what teach an AI assistant to recommend you. User-controlled feeds and AI answers point the exact same direction. Both reward the brand a real person would choose and vouch for. Both punish the brand that only ever showed up because it paid to. And that free citation window is closing. So the time to get talked about in your niche is now.
There's also this pushback on the Gen Z attention span thing. Does that change how we make the actual content?
It changes everything about the hook. The myth says everyone's attention collapsed to 8 seconds, so cut faster and say less. Adweek buried that one again this week. And they're right. Gen Z isn't incapable of attention, they're ruthless about what earns it. The first 2 seconds are an audition, not a gimmick. Front-load the payoff, tell them exactly what they're going to get, then actually deliver the depth. A 3-minute video with a strong first line beats 10 frantic clips that say nothing.
And the series feature? Is episodic actually worth the effort for a one-person team?
It's the highest leverage move on the board. A one-off post asks a stranger to care about you cold, and that's the hardest ask in content. A series asks them what happens next, and people are wired to answer that. Aeropostale ran a weekly show and pulled millions of views off the first couple episodes. You don't need a studio, you need a premise, a recurring character, and the discipline to show up the same day every week. Here's what to actually do with all of that.
1. Pick one nameable lane and post it past the point of boredom, so the person tuning their feed actively invites you in with "show me more."
2. Take your best performing single video and rebuild it as a named weekly series, and end every episode on an open loop that the next one answers.
3. Start seeding genuine mentions in the niche communities and comment threads where your buyers already hang out, because that earned conversation is what the AI reads when it decides whether to name you.
Okay, my favorite story of the day. The sugar-free arms race is reversing. Whole Foods just named "Sweet but make it mindful" a trend to watch. And shoppers are actually choosing real cane sugar, honey, and maple over the lab sweeteners they've stopped trusting. Indie brands like Harkin Sweets and Happy Candy are putting real sugar on the front of the pack like a badge. Gio, weren't we told for a decade that sugar was the enemy?
We were. And the pendulum swung so hard it snapped back. What changed is trust. Shoppers spent years being told aspartame and high fructose corn syrup were the smart choice, and they stopped believing it. Now the words cane sugar on the front of a pack read as honesty, not indulgence. It says, "We didn't try to trick you with a chemistry set." For a small brand that never reformulated to chase the sugar-free trend, that's not a weakness anymore. That's your founder's story.
So how does a tiny brand actually say that without sounding preachy?
You don't lecture, you locate it. Put the real sweetener in the first line of the caption, not the last. Sweetened with honey, same as it's always been. Show the jar. And kill the diet language while you're at it. There's research this month that says roughly a third of Americans are shopping in optimization mode. They want maximum health and maximum pleasure at once, and they'll pay for both. That shopper doesn't want guilt-free. They hear guilt-free and they hear, this is going to taste like cardboard. Sell the pleasure first and let the clean label be the quiet proof underneath.
There's a proof angle too, right? The certifications?
Right, and this is the guardrail. Consumers stopped rewarding a trendy ingredient just dropped on a label. This week brought new prebiotic verified certification and fresh GRAS approvals, which means a small brand can finally get third-party backing for a functional claim without building a lab. Use it. But understand a certification is proof for a claim, not the claim itself. The story is still the real, specific, true thing about your product. The badge just backs it up.
The Summer Fancy Food Show was this week too, and everyone's calling sense maxing, the bright, bold packaging, the trend of the year. Is that a content play or a shelf play?
Both, and the smart brands don't separate them. If you design a package to be filmed and not just stocked, you've built your own reach engine. But the bigger unlock at a show like that's turning the booth into a content set. A single-take walkthrough of your own table, showing the maker and the mess, rides the show's discovery wave for free and beats any press release. The indie brands were the story this year, not the incumbents. Act like it.
And for a brand that doesn't have a certification or a show booth yet, what's the move today?
Document the distribution win. There's an indie called Scott's Protein Balls that went from 86 Target stores to 350 in 4 months. That's the most credible growth content a founder can post. We just hit 350 doors, recruits shoppers and buyers at the same time, and it costs nothing but a phone and the nerve to say it out loud. Here's what to actually do with all of that.
1. Put your real sweetener, cane sugar, honey, or maple in the first line of every caption and on the front of the pack, framed as, "We never switched."
2. Cut every guilt-free and diet word from your copy. Lead with flavor and pleasure, and let the clean label sit underneath as quiet proof for the optimizer shopper.
3. Turn your distribution milestones into real-time content. We just hit this many doors, because a founder documenting the climb outconverts any polished ad. This is the fun part, where we look at what brands actually shipped in the last 7 days and grade it. And the loudest signal is microdramas. Crocs built an episodic series on TikTok called Charmed to Meet You, anchored entirely on its gibbets charms. Not a spec sheet, a story world. It pulled close to 10 million views and earned a sequel.
Wait, a whole drama series about the little charms you stick in the holes?
That's exactly why it worked. They treated a tiny product line as a setting instead of a sales pitch. A sequel means people came back, and coming back is the whole game. Now put that next to JCPenney, which produced a Spanish-language micronovela with Televisa Univision. Native telenovela format, real cultural specificity, more than 16 million impressions and 5.6 million video views. Generic branded content misses that multicultural audience every single time. JCPenney spoke the format instead of translating an ad into it.
And Aeropostale's doing the same thing with that intern show?
Same playbook. Intern Diaries, a creator-led series with Deja Clark, who's got 6.2 million TikTok followers, weekly Thursday drops, 3 to 4 minute episodes, 3.5 million views across the first 2, and then they hung a product launch off an episode. Recurring cast, appointment viewing, the brand becomes the set. That's a studio move a small brand can copy with one camera.
Vitamin Water's doing something in my world too, right? The local artist thing?
Yeah, Neighbor Who, a recurring content series celebrating local artists, built with a multicultural agency and remezcla. It's early and unmeasured, so I won't call it a win yet, but I love the shape of it. It's place-based and recurring, which gives people a reason to follow, not just watch. Same lesson as the microdramas. Roots and repetition beat a one-off spot every time.
So what didn't work this week?
The cautionary tale is the celebrity drop. Dunkin' launched a candy pink lemonade refresher with Kylie Jenner. That'll spike awareness, sure, but celebrity drops are getting graded on authenticity now, and the signal to watch isn't the reach number, it's the comment sentiment. When the audience feels rented instead of earned, the thread turns on you. Compare that to Nespresso, which did the opposite this week. Instead of building its own branded run club, it embedded in running communities that already existed. Slower, stickier, and it buys a credibility a rented celebrity audience never will.
Why does showing up in someone else's community beat just buying the famous person?
Because the celebrity brings her audience, not yours, and everybody in the comments knows the difference. When you show up in a community you didn't manufacture, you're earning your way in, and the people there vouch for you to each other. That vouching is the authority signal that carries. The famous face is a spike, the community is a compound. Here's what to actually do with all of that.
1. Build a named episodic series around your product's world, not its specs, the way Crocs did with the charms, and commit to a fixed weekly drop.
2. Make your content native to one specific community or language, like JCPenney's micronovella, instead of running one generic version for everyone.
3. Spend your reach budget embedding in a community that already exists, showing up real in the comments, before you ever spend it renting a celebrity's audience. That's the read for today. Notice the through line, user-controlled feeds, real sugar on the front of the pack, and microdramas that earn a following. Every one of them rewards the brand that's clear and human over the brand that's loud and expensive. That's leverage a small operator actually holds. If you're trying to turn all of this into an organic social strategy that earns attention instead of buying it, that's exactly what I do at gallucci.net. Come find me at gallucci.net or DM me at gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn, and let's build you a lane worth turning up. Talk tomorrow.